Before we start, I'll remind us of the traditional method we used to use to create apps. We would start with an app idea, get some user interface design and artwork done, then we'd either develop the app ourselves or get a team of developers in, and finally release the app to the App Store. This does sound like the correct way to make an app, but the problem is that we just risked a lot of time and money developing an app, and we don't even know if anyone would want to use it. With lean development, the initial goal is to spend the minimum amount of time and effort to see whether there is a demand for our app. Then, based on user feedback, we can add or remove features in small iterations. The first version we create doesn't need to be an actual iPhone app. I use an app called Balsamiq Mockups, which lets you lay out the design really easily. It's possible to use Photoshop or even Keynote to create a more realistic prototype. We can show these designs to target users. It's so much easier to make changes now rather than later. When I'm designing an app, I try to look at some of the phone's built-in apps. I tend to focus my attention on the Contacts app for inspiration. It's very bland looking, but it's really functional app with some very clever designs. Plus everyone knows how to use the Contacts app, so if we keep our design close to that, it will serve us well. You can see that I've laid out a basic design for the app. When the app starts, the user sees a list of theme parks with today's weather. When the user selects one of those theme parks, a full screen view is shown with the weather for the next few days. From these designs we can create an MVP or minimum viable product. It's vital at this stage that the app only achieves its core value proposition and nothing more. All we need is one feature. This is our version 1 of the product. It's also important that we don't go overboard with engineering practices. We just need something that works, not a poor product with bugs, but it just needs to work. And as importantly, something we can work with, to iterate upon, so nice, simple, clean code is the goal. We will continue the feedback design develop loop many times to turn the app from a single featured MVP into a full product. Or if the idea proves to be a failure, we can learn from that and maybe pivot the app into something else. If you want to catch the next video in the series, subscribe to my channel or check out londonswift.com.